Hello everyone, back tuning into today's month ahead forecast. We're going to have a look at the Beijing Climate Centre and CFSB2 models to see what they're showing for the coming month. We'll also have a review of the April month ahead forecast. At the end, we'll have a sneak peek at June. A little bit late with month ahead forecast. Should have done it yesterday, but of course it's Bank Holiday Monday, so gave myself the day off. So I'm going to start off by having a review of what happened in April. The April month ahead forecast was for a colder and wetter than average month. We said April was likely to be the coldest month, or the first colder than average month since September last year, and that has come off, so that side forecast was pretty good. Rainfall not quite so good. Funny enough, it wasn't all that wet, despite that it was placed under a trough of low pressure through most of the month. Actually, it wasn't all that wet, but some places did receive above average rainfall, and there was an above average incidence of both frost and snow this April gone, as we predicted. So overall, I think a fairly decent forecast from Gasworthies. But before I get on with the May month ahead forecast, just say about the ads. There's links to articles all over the pages. Have a browse widgets and click through the links to the articles that you're interested in. Thanks so much for doing that. This video adds to most pages. So open up the content when you're watching, close back up again. Helps to pay for the website. We're going to start off looking at what happened in April. So this is Central England temperature for April. Came out at 7.5, which is an anomaly of 0.4 degrees below average. So nearly half a degree below average. This is set against 61 to 90. Of course, the old and cold temperature average, we was to set this against more modern average, such as 81 to 2010, that would probably be an even bigger, colder anomaly. So definitely a colder than average month occurred in April, about as expected. Really quite pleased with the April month ahead forecast. Well, this is the 700 millibar height anomaly for May from the CFS V2, and what it's showing is quite an unsettled month actually. A trough of low pressure centred just to the northwest of the UK, with the jet stream coming more or less through the country rather like that. There is hints of a little bit of yellow, a little bit of high pressure up here over Greenland, and also backing off towards Scandinavia. So overall, yeah, fairly unsettled month being signalled here, fairly Atlantic driven. The temperature anomaly for the coming month looks like this, generally near normal, no great deviation either way. If anything, you would probably say that Western Europe is favoured to be a little bit on the cooler side, but essentially it's near average. There's no great temperature signal away from the far northeast of Europe and into Western Russia, where we do have quite a warm anomaly going on up there, but overall near normal temperatures, perhaps ever so slightly going towards cooler than average the temperature signal. Precipitation, that's generally coming out above average, generally a little bit wetter than the average, particularly to the western side of the country. Reason, of course, is because we are bringing the jet stream into the country a bit like that, with the low pressure centred somewhere around here. So it's quite a complicated picture, this actually, from the CFS model, but essentially it's going for quite unsettled month, fairly Atlantic driven, and rainfall generally a little bit above average, temperatures generally a little bit below average. Have a look at the Beijing Climate Centre. This is the 500 millibar height anomaly for the month, so this is taking us from the 1st of May through to the 30th. And very similar, really, to the CFS. There's a trough of low pressure in the Atlantic. Looks like the jet stream's running through the country, a bit like that. So, again, quite an unsettled, quite an Atlantic-driven month is being signalled here by the Beijing Climate Centre. And the temperature, therefore, is coming out generally near normal to ever so slightly cooler than average. And the precipitation anomaly is coming out generally wetter than average as well. So it's a fairly strong signal, quite a complicated signal, but a fairly strong one for a largely Atlantic-driven and really quite unsettled May, with temperatures a little bit below average, if anything, rainfall a bit above average. I think these models could be going a bit over the top with this. I don't think it's going to be as bad, hopefully, as these models are suggesting. So instead of going for a wetter than average instead of going for a wetter than average May, I'm going to go for near normal temperatures. Going to correct the model a little bit this month. Go for near normal precipitation. In terms of the temperatures, I think again probably close to average, and I would maybe go even a little bit above average for the temperatures. I think it could be a little bit warmer this month than the models are predicting. Whether they're being affected by what happened in April, I'm not sure, but I'm going to gamble a bit and go against the models for this month. So for GasWeathers.com May month-end forecast, and May always seems to be a very complicated month, so this could go wrong. But the May month-end forecast from GasWeathers.com is for temperatures to be near normal to maybe even a little bit above average. Precipitation, I think we're going to be near normal with that as well. I don't think the month is going to be as bad as the model is suggesting. We will see whether that gamble pays off or not. As I said, we will review May month-end forecast when we get to June. Talking of June, this is a quick sneak peek at the 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS V2 for June, and again placing a trough of low pressure to the west-northwest of us, bringing the jet stream through. So this does look like another unsettled, fairly Atlantic-driven month, and quite cool as well. We'll see how June pans out when we get to it. Worry about that at the time. Finally, coming back to the May month-end forecast, just to sum it all up, we are going against the model consensus a little bit this month, which is quite unusual for gas weathers, but we're going to go against model consensus a little bit this month and come out with temperatures near normal to maybe a little bit above, rainfall near normal. Will be a changeable month at times, and I think we may get quite a bit of intra-month variability, so spells of fairly warm weather, perhaps being offset by some colder conditions at times as well. That's certainly the consensus that we saw in Terry's month-end forecast that was issued on the 1st, on Sunday. And I think that be a fairly good way that how this pans out, but we're going to get quite a bit of variation through the month. But I don't think it'll be quite as bad as these models are hinting at and suggesting. We will see how it pans out, and that's all for now. Come back later on. We'll have a look at weather next 8 to 10 days. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.